My walk begins near the Ulica 1905 go to metro station at Krasnopresnenskaya Zastava Square. In 1981, a majestic sculptural group was installed on the square, a monument to the 1905 revolution, symbolizing the proletarian courage and revolutionary resilience displayed by the Presnya workers during the heroic days of the First Russian Revolution. On the right, the struggle between an unarmed worker and a young woman against a mounted gendarme is depicted. At the center of the composition, under a waving banner, armed militia members stand firm. On the left lies a fallen revolutionary fighter, while a woman raises her clenched fists in anger and sorrow. I cross Krasnopresnenskaya Street. December Uprising Park is a historical park in Moscow. It commemorates the 1905 Moscow Uprising, a key event of the Russian Revolution of 1905, when armed worker uprisings were brutally suppressed by Tsarist forces. The rebellion was crushed, but it became a symbol of revolutionary resistance. Cobblestone Weapon of the Proletariat is a sculpture created by Soviet artist Ivan Sadra in 1927, originally made of plaster and later cast in bronze in 1947. The plaster version is housed in the Tretiakov Gallery. Behind the sculpture stands a small stone wall with a quote by Vladimir Lenin in bronze letters: "The heroic stand of the Presna workers was not in vain. Their sacrifices were not made for nothing." The monument is listed as a Moscow Cultural Heritage Site. Trilogy is an elite residential complex in Presnensky District. It is a monolithic building of variable number of stories, from 6 to 11 floors, which accommodates 75 open-plan apartments from 1 to 5 rooms. The upper floors house spacious penthouses with an area of up to 300 square meters. This is what December Uprising Park looks like in the summer. In the center of the park stands a 3-meter black granite obelisk. It was erected in 1920 with funds from the workers of Presnensky to mark the 15th anniversary of the December Uprising. The obelisk bears the inscription, "To the heroes of the December Armed Uprising of 1905." The monument is listed as part of Moscow's cultural heritage sites. There is a monument to Vladimir Lenin in the southern part of the park. Vladimir Ilyich is depicted sitting in an armchair. The sculpture looks remarkably lifelike, as if Lenin, after a stroll through the square, has paused to rest. His relaxed posture, slightly narrowed eyes, and gentle contemplative expression give the impression that the leader of the proletariat is open to a friendly conversation. I'm heading towards the Moskva River now, a 7-story 6-entrance brick apartment building. It was built in the constructivist style in 1929.
You are watching Real Moscow channel on YouTube.
World Trade Center. The complex was established in 1980 with the construction of its first building. In 2003, a second building was added, followed by the completion of two 100 and 135-meter twin towers in 2008-2010, whose architectural design pays homage to the destroyed World Trade Center towers in New York in 2001. On the other side of the Moskva River is the Ukraine Hotel and the Badayevsky residential complex under construction. A future expansion of World Trade Center includes plans for a 200-meter skyscraper, which will further enhance the business complex. Badayevsky residential complex will occupy a 6-hectare site between Kutuzovsky Avenue and Taras Shevchenko embankment. Its location at the starting point of Kutuzovsky Avenue ensures both prestige and excellent transport accessibility. On the western section of Taras Shevchenko embankment, construction is underway on a horizontal skyscraper, the project's centerpiece. Its defining feature is floating residential blocks elevated dozens of meters above ground level, supported by 188 columns, 137 vertical and 51 slanted. The architectural concept, designed by a Swiss firm, includes 8 residential floors in the suspended section. Thanks to the innovative 35-meter stilts, even the first residential level is positioned at a height equivalent to the 10th floor of a conventional building. A key requirement for the project was preserving sightlines to the historic Tryogornaya brewery ensemble from the Moskva River. Capitol Towers is a complex of 3 residential skyscrapers. Russian National Center to open in Moscow by 2029. A new architectural landmark, the Russian National Center, will be constructed on Krasnopresnenskaya embankment adjacent to the Moscow City Business District. The wave-shaped building will occupy the site of the current Expo Center exhibition complex, which is set to be dismantled. The Bagration Bridge is a shopping and pedestrian bridge across the Moskva River, opened in 1997 and became the first building of the Moscow City complex. In July 2025, the bridge looks like this. The dismantling of the northern entrance of the Bagration pedestrian bridge has begun. The bridge was closed for reconstruction on May 2025. According to the project plan, the renovation is scheduled for completion by December 31, 2030. The reconstruction is required due to the construction of a new skyscraper adjacent to the bridge.
Hungry giants shattered in the haze, white rushes by this urban maze, echoes of footsteps, of beauty kind, and huts of the sea. Where you gone, neon signs flicker through lost and found, in the rhythm of chaos, is that not wrong? We are not coast, my way up to well up here.
You are watching Real Moscow channel on YouTube.
Moscow City Business District is a huge transport hub. Now we will walk along the Moscow City D4 station, or rather along the corridor that serves as a passage to the headliner residential complex. The contemporary headliner residential complex stands on the historic site of Flour Mill Complex No. 4. Established in 1960, the industrial facility once occupied a vast area between Mukamalny and Smetovsky lanes, adjacent to railway tracks. During the Soviet era, these grounds safeguarded strategic grain reserves, later transitioning into office spaces in post-Soviet years. The industrial landmark stood for over half a century before making way for modern development in 2016. As of February 12, 2025, Headliner's construction has been fully completed, with its final third phase officially commissioned, marking a new chapter for this historically significant Moscow district. Now I'll show you what this place looks like during the day. Some of these 5-story buildings will be demolished before 2028. The river bank on this and the opposite side is being improved very slowly. Now I will walk to the Shelepikhinsky Bridge, and from there we will look at the area.